By the number 14 Rush Truck Center's Ford driver, Clint Bowyer, finishing third today. You ran up front all day, and you were excited about this one. You mentioned earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Talk about the run and being back here. Like
Fun racetrack. You know, I mean, I remember. I think I've been coming here 12, 13 years now, and it wasn't always this way. You know, I remember single file around here, couldn't really pass, ring around the bottom, and now, I mean, all hell breaks loose on them restarts. You're, you know, trying to protect the bottom. They're calling you outside. You don't know if you're 3 wide, 4 wide, 12 wide. And it's all because of a really wide, cool racetrack, fast racetrack, and a lot of grooves. You know, 5 different grooves to race on all day long. It was just a lot of fun to be out there. Very challenging track, trying to balance those front tires, the rear tires, and, you know, and not push them off. You know, you can overdrive your car, and I did one run, and thing fell away. And, you know, you learn from your mistakes and go on. But just to have the organization behind me, everybody at Stewart Haas Racing, my teammates, you know, to have these teammates like this is just, at this point in your career and everything that I've been through, it's, you know how fortunate you are when you get this opportunity. And, you know, Gene Haas and Tony Stewart getting out of the car and giving me this opportunity. I mean, just appreciative of everything.
Awesome. Thank you, Clint. All right, I'll open up with questions. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll start over here.
Kathy Brown, pitting outside the box. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You have been getting better and better every week, and you can see it. And you can see it, you know, in your attitude that you are just happy with where you're at. When you finished third today, was there anything that Tony said to you when you got out of the car?
Good job. Tony wins a lot of races. He's won a lot of races. Anything less than a win is you know, he expects that, and I love that about Tony. As a, you know, obviously I know he's proud, and he was happy with that. But that's what you want in an owner, you know what I mean? To have that instilled in everything in your DNA. I mean, it's that, like, just the way I was raised. Anything else but a win is a bad day, you know, and you are miserable with anything less than that. I mean, it's just the way we're wired as race car drivers from the time that we're 5 years old and on, you know. The problem is everybody else on that racetrack is wired the same way. So there's really only one guy happy and everybody else is pissed off at the end of the day is what it boils down to. But to have an organization like that, to have owners like Tony Stewart and Gene Haas, I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. You know, the teammates, you say attitude, yes, I'm having a blast. You know, I'm getting a little long in the tooth here in this career, and to have this opportunity and the opportunity to go out and compete and win races, you know, and race for a championship, hopefully. I mean, that's what you're here to do, and I realize that these opportunities don't come around every day.
Bob
Pockris, ESPN. Do you have any idea why you were so good and your teammates struggled so much? I mean, did you do something different, or does this track just suit your style? Or,
you know, I love this racetrack, but I mean, Kevin's so good here. You know, one thing that I didn't see today that we've seen in years past is that rim riding, you know, right around the outside. You saw it that first run, and man, I could get down and kind of split the apron in 3 and 4, and you know, I could see that I was better than them down there, and if I could keep that going throughout the run, you know, I knew that was going to be, you know, an advantage when it come down to these cautions and everything else, the restarts that we saw at the end. But everybody else catches on and figures that out. But that was something that was a little bit different from practice sessions and everything else. I mean, I don't think I left, you know, the 4th and 5th groove in practice the whole weekend. I think the 3rd groove was the lowest I was in practice, even qualifying. And then all of a sudden you start the race and you're straddling the apron and running on the bottom and everything else. But that's just what's cool about this racetrack. You got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to have that car free enough across the center that you can throttle through those corners and not get tight, and then tight enough that the rear end doesn't come out from underneath of you in and off. I mean, it's a constant battle, balancing those tires and then taking care of those tires as well.
So it's kind of dirt late model experience.
Yeah, but I mean, I've got great teammates. I mean, we were all a little bit different going into this race, you know, and some of us tightened up a little bit and some of us freed up a little bit. And, you know, track position, once you get that track position, you can't believe how much easier your car drives and everything else. you know, and once you're mired back there in traffic, you're in trouble. You know, those cautions started coming and helped a lot of those guys get up through there and taking advantage of that. I mean, the 2-car, I went by him the first run, and I just knew his day was over, and I'll be damned if he didn't finish in front of me. How do you do that? You don't, did you see that?
We'll go to Holly.
Holly Kane, NASCAR.com, and that's exactly what I was just about to ask you. Those final few laps, you were like, wait, where did that guy come from? I mean, there are a whole lot of people that finished in the top 10 that were not running in the top 10.
Yeah.
A couple cautions before the end. What was that like for you?
Tires, no tires, you know, and it's, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, it's one of those deals where some of us took tires early, and you're thinking, all right, that's good, and then all of a sudden, caution comes back out. Now they took tires, and now you're thinking, was it going to come back out, and where are we going to be on the advantage side of this tires? And seems like obviously your advantage to have those tires, but if it comes out right off the bat, you know, you put a cycle in the tires, nobody else, and it kind of levels the playing field. And then all of a sudden, some of them that didn't, you know, take tires took tires, and then they're on the advantage behind you. I mean, it's a constant mind game right then, and you just got to scratch it out of your head and get off into one, and that's when everybody's, you know, pushing hard and 3 wide, 4 wide. I mean, I just knew that I had to floor it and try to get across to the 3/4 mark ahead of them and then figure it out from there. And that's what I did. I just kind of left it pinned till I got over there and lifted, and I hoped that it turned and knocked the wall down, and that's what it did.
All right, we'll take 2 more down here, and then we'll go up to Terrace and Skybox.
Kelly Crandall, Racer.com. Clint, with all those cautions that kept coming out late, you're getting closer and closer to the front. How eager were you behind the wheel to try and make something happen, being in that position?
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. I mean, all day long, it was just kind of, you know, the temptation was killing you. You know, you could see it, you just couldn't get it. And my car was so good, but it was teeter-tottering between, you know, too loose on the ends, in and out, and or in and off the corner, and too tight in the middle. And you know, I wanted to free up to try to get it, you know, better across the center, but I was afraid that it'd get too loose getting into 3 because I was having trouble there on a long run. You know, I was just kind of stuck in a box, and, you know, this is one that you'll think about on the way home. Should I have freed up a little bit? What would it have done? Would it have given me an advantage, you know, that I didn't have? But that's racing, you know. I mean, there's so much that goes into it, the teamwork, the communication. Boog and I went to his room last night. It was the most awkward. I've never went to a crew chief's hotel room, sat down at his desk, and we looked at sim and throttle traces and all sorts of crap. Never done that before.
Second, how different or how weird is it maybe to have Tony Stewart not on the racetrack but in your ear because he was on the radio today?
It's just, it is weird still. You're exactly right. I mean, we all, me included, I mean, look at him. He's ready. You could put him in a fire suit, and you know he'd go out there and get the job done in that 14 car. But, you know, to give me the opportunity is super cool, and to have him on the box is really cool. It's neat to see a smile on his face. I mean, I really believe, you know, he just looks happy. You know, he looks comfortable and you know, at ease. I mean, the guy, that's a long time. That's a long career to be in any kind of sport, and he put his time in, and he's an owner now and still a part of it. That's the coolest thing about his gig right now is he's still a part of this sport, and, you know, maybe the biggest way he's ever been.
Okay, Presto, Cars and Competition. We know you've struggled in the past, and now this year you're running quite
Fixed
often
it.
in the top 5 and higher, and compliments today on your finish.
Thank you.
Is it better equipment, the attitude, the new team? What is it with you and Tony that you're doing so much better?
It's just the opportunity you've been waiting on. I mean, you know, everybody knows the situation, and you know, this opportunity, this is something I signed up for a year and a half ago, you know, and just been chomping at the bit this opportunity to be with the organization like this, to have the army of people behind you like this, the teammates, the partners and the sponsors that we have, the manufacturer and Ford, just all of that is the total package at Stewart-Haas Racing, which is why they won a championship and win all these races, you know, that we see. I mean, that's what you thrive to be a part of, and you know, finally got my opportunity to be that.
Yep. We'll go up to the Terrace Press.
Yeah, 2 questions for Clint Bowyer. Congratulations, Clint. Wolfgang Monza, Ranchburg.
You only get one question.
I make it very short. After the last but one caution, I think it was Corey LaJoie spun into the wall. After the restart, or at the restart, just looking, your speed seems phenomenal for me personally. When your other teammates were struggling, can you say something how identical the cars are set up? Your car compared to your teammates' car, are they identical? Are they different? Much different? And the second question: did you stay up last night and watch the action from Australia?
All right. No, I didn't stay up last night. Actually, it was a good boy. It was school night, and I went to bed. I remember thinking the same thing that they probably thought last week. Where were we? Oh, at Phoenix. And the 4-car blew my doors off and went up and finished in the top 5 or wherever he did. Ran in the top 5 all day, and I was struggling to run 15th. I was thinking, oh, these are the same cars. You know, it all comes down to the communication, the setup you put in them, the teamwork that you have, the track position, you know, and the effort you put in all day long. You know, we'll all have an opportunity to do that, and all of our cars at Stewart-Haas Racing, they're all built by the same people, you know, assembled the same way. I mean, and, you know, some days it's your day, and some days it's not. Some tracks suit you a little better than others. You know, this has always been a fun track for me. It's always been a good track for me. And, you know, as like last night, Boog and I were sitting there talking, and, you know, it was almost like I overthink things anyway, so everybody knows me. I just would rather not think and just do it. And that's what I told Booga last night. I was like, hey, man, this is a good track for me. You got a good hot rod. You brought me a good car. Don't overthink it. We'll go have fun. And we did.
Skybox Press question.
Chris Knight, CatchFence.com. Clint, I was just wondering, with this solid start to the season, how do you guys approach Martinsville next weekend, and are you looking forward to going back to short track racing?
No, they're one of my favorite tracks. It's 40 minutes from the house. You know, finally get home to get to see my family and everything else, and you know, to bring everybody up there and drive to the racetrack, you know, every day and sleep in your own bed. I mean, that's, you know, it's just a fun weekend, fun racetrack. It's old school racing at its finest, and I've been close so many times there. It's one that I want to win more than anything. And, you know, with this momentum and the confidence that we take from here, maybe we can.
Any other questions for Clint? All right. It's great to have you
Thanks,
in here.
guys.
Thanks, Clint.